I love it when we get viewer questions about X's and O's. Today, we're talking about how to beat cover two. I'm going to show you some cover two beaters coming up right now. Hey everybody, welcome to Elite Athletes TV. I'm Mike Pawlawski, former 11-year pro quarterback and quarterbacks coach here at EliteAthletesTV.com. Today, we're going to talk about how you beat cover two. Now, we've done a video on cover two before, back when we very first started this channel, and I will put a card up here so you can go check that out. And we talked about a couple of the concepts that you use to beat cover two. Today, I got a question from Mauro Green, who just simply asked, can you make a video on how to beat cover two? Well, yes, Mauro, I can do that for you. Before we get started here, if you haven't done so yet and you're new to the channel, subscribe and ring that bell. Get notified every time we have new stuff coming out that can help you improve your game. Give me a thumbs up if you're ready to learn about cover two, and leave me a comment down below. Love to hear from you. I'd love to hear your thoughts on cover two or any other coverage, or ask me a question. I'd be happy to answer it here in video. Lastly, make sure you share this video out. Family, friends, teammates, fans, anybody who likes football content or anybody who needs to improve their game. We're trying to help as many people as we can by doing these videos. That's why I do them. And so the more you share it out, more people I can help. Now let's talk about cover two. When I was young, I hated throwing into cover two because cover two is designed to take away the underneath routes. The best friend of a defense in cover two is time and distance. I'll show you what I mean in just a second. We'll draw it up for you. But they are counting on time and distance to help them get to the quarterback. The longer you hold the ball, more likely it is that they get home with their pass rush. Now, the other thing is, it's hard to make a living in underneath routes in cover two. There's 5 guys underneath, and so it's hard to make a living finding tight windows underneath, so you have to push the ball vertical. That's another thing. As a young quarterback, pushing that ball vertical can be scary at times. But once you learn how to throw that ball vertical and use those vertical routes, in the end, every zone becomes man-to-man. As a zone defender, if a man comes through your zone, you have to lock on and play him as he comes through. So the trick is, in cover two, to get a stretch on one guy. You do that by outnumbering him. So you can do it 2-on-1, or you can get the numbers advantage by going 3-on-2. Let's hit the board. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Since a ton of high school teams are playing the 2x2 set, shotgun quarterback, let's start in that 2x2. And so this is 10 personnel, 1 running back, no tight ends, and you're getting a straight cover two. Again, I'll talk about cover two real quick here. Old school cover two, corners are forcing the inside release, trying to funnel these receivers inside to the safety. Both safeties have deep halves, and Will linebacker is hook to curl. Mike linebacker is dead hook. Sam is hook to curl. He's got that area. Corners, after forcing that inside release, are flat defenders. So, what does that leave you on the field? You have to divide it as a quarterback into where your open spaces are. In this case, what you get is that deep middle, deep outside alleys, and then depending on linebacker drops, you'll either get this lane behind the linebackers or this shallow cross lane here. So that's where your holes are. You can count them up. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys underneath. So all of these windows get pretty tight. Now, you can simply, and I'll run through some quick concepts here, you can run stuff like double slant. You could run slants against this. If this will linebacker jumps outside, you hit this quick slant inside. If a will linebacker gets walled or stays inside, you can hit this slant off of that inside release. So stuff like that is okay, but I don't really love any part of the quick game against cover two. Here's what I was talking about. You want to get a 2-on-1 somewhere in this zone, and you want to do it, if you can, vertically. So a couple simple plays, I drew them up before, but I'll draw them up for you again real quick, is to go 3 vert against cover two. Now what you've done is you've hit all of those open spaces in the alleys and down the middle of the field. As a quarterback, you're going to pick a side, and it can be based on personnel, it can be based on where you have your running back check down going to, but you pick a side and you want to work that safety. So let's say in this case, we're going to run a shallow here to hold these backers so we can get vertical through. And I'm going to pick, since we're bringing that middle through from the left-hand side, the free safety. If he takes that middle on 3 vert, I'm going to hit the alley. If he stays wide, I can drop a dime right down the middle of the field, throw that thing straight on the line, just clear the linebackers, and get a big completion down the middle of the field. This ball will always be completed somewhere between 18 to 22 down the middle of the field. You can stretch it just a little bit down the sideline, but not much, somewhere between 18 to 24. But once you get to 24, you're kind of risking it because, as I said, it's time and distance. The longer the throw for a quarterback, the more time safeties have to come over and react and make a play. So that is 3 vertical. Standard cover 2 beater. They've been running it since the dawn of football. Now, what else can you do? Smash routes, where you try to take advantage of this corner over the top. You expect your receiver to beat the safety and take the proper angle coming out of it, and you hold this corner with the smash. If he sits on the smash route, you've got a hole shot in here to your corner route. If he gets depth, pedals out, now you hit your smash underneath. Simple reads, high-low. Again, high-low reads are as old as a passing game. If you like your matchups on the inside, say you have good slot receivers here on your team, and they're trying to force that hard inside release, what you can do is create a mandatory outside release for your outside receivers. Corners will get tangled up with that as they outside release, and you can work the option game in here. If the backer jumps over the top, it's a quick sit down, you hit him with the ball. Same idea over here with the sandbacker. He has the option of this kind of anchor here. He can run hooks, just pressure releasing off the backer, or he can get a little bit of width, but you still have to be careful of that corner. Now, what some teams have gone to is they have run flood type patterns trying to attack vertically. Again, trying to put 2 on 1. I also talked about numbers. So if you're in a 2x2 here, one of the things you can do is you can come back with that simple smash route and then bring H across on the backside. Now, if that free safety jumps the corner and corner sits on the smash, you've got this shot to your H receiver. If the safety stays home and the corner sits, now you can throw that corner. If the safety stays home and the corner gets depth, now you can throw your smash route to the outside. So it's a simple 3-on-2 here. You're working your 3 guys, 1, 2, 3, on their 2, and you're trying to find the open space that they leave over. So that's 2x2, pretty standard formation. A lot of teams run it. Now let's take a look at a different formation. Let's go out of a trips formation, a 3x1, and see what kind of fun games we can play against cover 2 from that look. Now you've got 3x1. Once again, we're trying to get a 2-on-1 somewhere within a zone. Make one man have to cover 2. So once again, 3x1, you can still run that smash, boom, corner, go route. Make that safety defend these 2 high routes. Take the same concept. You could run smash with a scissors concept. Same idea, trying to force this safety to cover 2 guys as they come through his zone. If the corner falls off, you've always got your check down in the flat. So you can see pretty consistent, pretty repetitive in terms of the type of routes and type of things that you can do versus cover 2. Now, here's a change up for you. Let's stop attacking safeties for a second, and let's go after linebackers. So you want to run some kind of route that attacks linebackers. What are you going to do? Well, you're going to get them with a high-low stretch. You could do something to the effect of an over with a shallow. Make these linebackers choose whether they're going to drop into hooks or they're going to cover that shallow underneath. Then as a quarterback, you find your windows. Generally, you hit this one after it gets across the ball, so somewhere over here. But they either have to react up and attack the shallow, or they have to cover that dig behind. And you could always, to make sure you keep that safety off, run that receiver through to hold him. Another way of doing it would be kind of a dagger concept, running vertical through, clearing that safety, and running the deep over here behind the linebacker's drops. Now you have something where linebackers, if they do drop all the way for depth, they getting super deep, now you can just check down with your running back. So once again, running safety off, he has to cover that when it comes through his zone, and you have your deep cross, basic, whatever you want to call that route, with a check down. You could also check shallow with that back to give that same high-low read inside. You can mix and match these route combinations anywhere across the board here. You could give yourself a shake route with a vertical, with a shoot. You could run shake route, post route with a shoot, anything like that, where you're putting two guys through that vertical zone on the safety and having something to hold that corner in the flat. That way you can play 2-on-1 up here and high-low with the corner. And so you say, Coach, we don't run four wides. We use a tight end in the game. I got something for you there too, especially if you like to run the football. If your team's good at running the ball, then play action comes into it and makes it really fun to work on cover two. Let's take a look. So now here we are. We've got the dreaded tight end in the game, and we're switching sides for the formation just for fun. What if, with the tight end in the game, now you're going to run play action? So quarterback gives the fake, nice 3+ step drop out here, and you can run outside receiver on the go, tight end on the corner, and a slot on a shallow. Now you could do this, you could put him in motion, bring him across to get him across the formation quicker too. This corner, as everything vacates and he sees Y get vertical, if they're pattern reading, is probably going to drop off to help. This will likely be open. If he collapses and sits on the shallow, now you've got a nice hole shot to your tight end coming out into the corner route. And if the safety jumps the corner, now you've got the go over the top. So once again, you've got 3-on-2 out there to the outside, and it makes it a nice, easy read for quarterbacks. How about one more for you? Been drawing that corner over and over. As you can see, it's a pretty good cover two beater. But what if you were to run the shake with a climb and a sit? Get him outside of that backer zone, have him find a window to the outside. This corner with nobody to follow in, he may drop off. If this safety comes over the top, you've got a shot here. If the safety stays home, you've got a shot on the corner. So as you can see, there's a million options in cover two, and I drew up maybe 10% of the plays that have been designed to beat cover two. But there's a bunch of different ways to attack it. What you want to remember is distance, how far you have to throw the ball, and time, how long you have to hold that ball in order to throw it, are the defense's friends. As a quarterback, understanding cover two and having a play that beats cover two and where exactly your key is are your friend. Know your reads, make your throws, be quick about it, and you'll be effective versus cover two. Mauro, I hope that answered some of your questions, trying to get you kind of a quick synopsis of how to beat cover two. If you like what I did here today, make sure you subscribe to the channel, ring that bell. That way you get notified every time we have new stuff coming out. Give me a thumbs up if you feel better about beating cover two, and leave a comment down below. Love to hear from you, your thoughts on cover two. Always cool to see guys draw up plays or send in plays that they love versus cover two. Always like learning new offense myself. Appreciate you watching, trying to improve your quarterback training, some football skills, hopefully improve your football IQ and make you a better player. I'll talk to you again soon.